Welcome, 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 welcome.
We're
Hi,
back. Hi.
how are you?
I'm fine. I'm tired, but in a good way.
Oh,
Yes.
well,
Eshe?
you had a
Thank you.
busy day yesterday.
I
It was busy
did. I
yesterday.
did. Very
So,
busy, and I was up till late,
wow.
and I've still been at fellowship this morning, but it's all good. It's lovely to. Yes. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's good.
Now,
Good.
I'm not sure if it's me, but your voice seems to be a bit low.
Okay. It might be.
So maybe you need to just.
Let me
Can you
tweak
guys
it a
hear
bit.
us properly, please? Let us know. Hi, Aramide. Just let us know if you can hear us loud and clear. Say something so they can say something.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can they hear me?
Somebody says she can't hear me. Sis B
No.
says she couldn't hear me. Good morning.
Pastor Pearl, can you
Oh,
hear me? Yes, very
okay,
well. Okay,
okay, that's
good,
fine. So
good.
it's better now.
Yes, okay, yeah. I did tweak it a little bit. I don't know
Okay.
what I'm doing with my hair this morning, but
Thank you, Arabi. Okay, you guys can hear us.
Mhm,
Fantastic. That's great.
good.
Thank you for joining us again today. Thank you,
Yes,
thank you.
we're both okay. Thank you. Very clear. Thank you, Auntie Deji.
Great.
Thank you, Bumi.
We're back.
We're back.
Because
We're together
we're
again.
back. We're back. We're
Yes,
back.
we're back. We're back. We're back.
Oh,
How's your
thank you, Sissy, for reminding us that there might be brothers. She said, "Hello, welcome, hello, brothers and sisters." It's true.
Did I say? I
Hello,
didn't say ladies,
brothers, if
brothers
you're on the
and
call.
sisters. Hi guys. Hello folks. Liking the hair. Thank you. This is yeah. Thank you.
I don't know. Maybe it's me. Your voice keeps
Hi Bumi.
going.
Ah,
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I should wear my headphones. Okay, headphones. Hang on. Let me try.
mhm.
Let's see if that will work.
Okay, they're saying they love our
Yeah.
earrings.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. All for you guys, you know.
All for you.
All for you. Yeah.
Great, sis. Oh,
Hmm?
I'm sure we're going to have loads of questions again today.
Yes.
So, ladies, is
Ladies and gentlemen.
oh, and gentlemen. Okay, I keep saying
You
ladies
know why?
and
It's your
gentlemen.
it's your headspace, bless you, because when you leave the cafe today, you're off to Ireland, to
Yes,
go and do a women's thing. So it's
yeah,
probably your
yeah. It's
headspace.
my head. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking, ladies, ladies.
Because that's where you're going to next. You're going to
Yeah,
Ireland.
I'm going to Ireland after a hangout cafe.
Okay.
So,
While we're allowing the others to join us, do you want to tell us a little bit about Ireland? What's going on there, even though it's on your plate?
okay, yes, I'm speaking at the women's conference. I'm going to be talking about etiquette, dining etiquette, and conversational skills, the art of making conversation. So that's what I'm going to be doing. The conference is called Shift. It's by the Good Women Fellowship in Ireland. So if you, I think it's on my story.
It is. It's 2
It's on
p.m.
my 2 p.m. Okay. Yes, so you can join me at 2 p.m. I'd love to see all you there, but you have to, I think it's a Zoom one. So the Zoom details is on the
It's there.
flyer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it on the flyer because I hope to
Okay.
pop in at some point.
Yay. That would be
Yes.
nice. That would be nice.
Yes.
Okay. Whoa. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, folks. Thank you. Yes, last week we had a wow time. Last week it was part one of health. I'm a parent. And Sis Abby dropped so many nuggets. Let me just recap on some of the things that she said. She said,
I know my
parenting is a
notebook.
privilege, it's a responsibility, it's a sacred charge, a calling, a task, sometimes a thankless task. He said there's no such thing as a perfect children or perfect parents. But there was something else you said. You said a lot of us when we're out there, it's what you call it presentation parenting, where we all look good, all nicely dressed up, our kids looking, spotless. But there's no such thing as a perfect child or perfect parenting. And then, of course, the one that got us all saying, was when you said, if you want to raise godly and God-fearing children, you need to ask yourself, am I godly? Am I
Mm,
God-fearing?
mm,
Because you have to be the example you wish to see
mm.
in your child.
Absolutely.
Ah, see, so many things. You said, equip your children. what are your values? What are the values you're passing on to your children? There's so many nuggets that you dropped last week. And then you said to raise God-fearing children means I'm going to be like God. I'm going to be Christ-like. I want to be, because those are the things the children will see. And I'll end with this because I could go on. Sis, you dropped so many nuggets. He said it takes a village to raise a child, and we are all villagers. I'm a villager. You're a villager. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you've got any questions, can you please drop them in the question box? There's a question icon on there should be on your phone. So please put the questions there. And sis, let's carry on.
Let's carry on. Do you know how I would like to start the conversation this afternoon?
Sis. Yes, sis.
Obviously, virtual hugs. God knows I could do with a hug today.
Yes. Oh, so, yes. I need it today.
Be kind to yourself. Hug yourself.
Hug.
Oh, receive all our love and all the virtual hugs we're sending.
We love you. We love you.
We thank you. Thank you for coming, and joining us. Thank you. Be good to yourself.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you.
Love yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Yes. You have value. You have worth.
Oh,
you are important.
You're so worthy.
You're loved. So worthy. You're appreciated.
Yeah. Yes. No matter the challenges, you are loved. You're valued by God. Your circumstances, your situation does not diminish your worth in His sight. Absolutely. He loves you regardless. There's no limit to His love. It's unconditional. So receive that love. Receive that love today.
Yes.
Just receive it.
Yes. And, as they say, well, not they, as the Bible actually says, it's more better to give than to receive.
Yeah.
So please, this week at some point, also find somebody that you can just speak into their life and say, and whether it's by text, whether it's, whichever way, you're communicating, and say to that person, you are valued. You are loved.
Yes.
You are appreciated.
Yep.
You are important.
Yeah. You matter.
You matter. Mm-hmm. I'm happy that you're on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
You're not a waste of space. So you have legitimacy.
Yeah.
I think that is so important.
Yeah.
Those words. Because one of the things that came out from when we were together at the cafe last week is affirmation. And I don't know if you remember, somebody put a comment and said, where can I get affirmation? Even though we're talking in context of parenting and parenting children. But this individual was asking the question for, themselves. Can I still get affirmation? I don't know if you remember, there was a comment like that. Can I still get affirmation?
Thank you. Whoever spotted that. Someone said there's a safety pin, and it was one. Thank you.
Weapons of mass destruction. You have to be careful. So so where am I getting affirmation from? Start from within, and affirm yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and be kind to yourself. And obviously from the word of God, I know my plans. I know the thoughts I have towards you.
Yeah.
Oh, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I draw you with my loving kindness.
Yeah.
The greatest affirmation, is found in this word.
Yeah.
It's a personal word to you.
Yeah.
It's not church. It's not doctrine. It's not theology. It's a God who made you in His image and who, and says, I love you. And this is my, my word to you. So I just thought we should just drop that into the phrase.
That's really good, sis. There's nothing like affirmation from the Father. Yes, people might say you're this, you're that, but hearing the Father say, I love you.
Yeah.
You matter.
You matter, and I care.
And I care.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I love it. I just love it. Thank you so much for that, sis. Thank you so much.
And I'm saying that to you too. You matter.
Oh, thank you, sis.
I need to say it to others, and I care. You have value. You have worth. Yes.
I love you too, sis. I love you
so much.
You are you're a wonderful sis, a wonderful friend.
Thank you.
And of course, you're a wonderful mother to your children. I'm sure tell you that.
Thank you.
Well done for all you do. We appreciate you. We love you.
Thank you.
And everyone joining us, we love you. We appreciate you.
Yes.
Those that are joining us for the first time, but those who have been with us since the first episode or Hangout Cafe. We really do appreciate
Thank you. Your time.
Thank you. Yes.
Your commitments.
Yeah.
Your fun. Your comments.
Yes. We don't take it for granted. Honestly, we don't.
It could be anywhere.
Yes.
And for those who will watch later, whether it's via YouTube, you know, or, you know, on the Instagram TV, you know, please just breathe in and breathe out and just know that you're loved and appreciated. Yeah.
You are loved.
So thank you. Thank you guys for all the comments.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sissy Bello knows. Thank you, Bumi. Thank you, Amaka. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
This is important to set.
It is. It is.
Sometimes, you know, it's just, you know, we're zooming in and zooming. You know, it's like appreciated, loved.
And take time out for yourself, please.
Yeah.
Take time out. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just take time out.
In your marriage, you know, affirm your husband.
Yeah.
You know, husbands affirm your wives, you know, and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, your families are, you know, where you know, it's all, everything is being reconfigured. Homeschooling, shopping. You know, some of us are what we call the sandwich generation. So we have responsibility for older parents, right? Yeah. And then we have, you know, responsibility for children and even grandchildren. So we're the sandwich generation, right? And sometimes, you know, it can feel as if I am, you know, being squeezed. You know, I'm the jam or the salami, you know, or the ham. I don't know what you like in your sandwich, you know, or the stew, you know. And sometimes it feels as if I'm just being squashed in there.
Yeah.
So really, it's important that, you know, we a lot of affirmation, right? Yeah. So thank you. Wow, virtual hugs, lots of affirmation today. Sis, to set the contents of our conversation, there's funny enough, is as we logged in that this kind of came to me.
Yes.
What is the space? What is the space in which I am parenting? Or I can ask again, what is the space in which I am raising children? I literally just got this as we were talking.
What is the space in which I am raising children? Parenting
or raising children, you know, so because, you know, again, you know, across the spectrum, you know, so some may just be starting the journey, you know, some are about to be parents.
Yeah.
Some are still, you know, they're not in a relationship, but there's a desire one day they would like to. And some, you know, again, the whole concept of the sandwich generation, you know, I'm a parent, right? But as a person who's in a sandwich generation, sometimes I'm actually parenting my parents. Where's that for a thought?
Yes.
You know, they're depending more on me for counsel, for wisdom, for affirmation.
Yes.
Dad, you're doing very well today.
Yeah.
You know, Mom, you know, you can do this. Take your parenting. Isn't that interesting?
Interesting.
You know, so these are life skills.
Yes.
It doesn't end. So in what space am I raising children? And we'll make it as interactive as possible. Let me try and give a few fillers.
Okay, so can you, folks, in what space are you raising children? Just put your comments, just send us your comments. In what space? Sis, what was the question again? So the whole thing.
What is the space? What is the nature? What kind of space is it that I'm raising children or that I'm parenting? So the space is not just a physical space.
Yes.
So for instance, it can be what culture is a space. So I'm from Uganda, right? Or I'm from Malawi. In fact, I'm from Lilongwe, right?
Yeah.
But I'm married to a man who is from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia, okay.
Ethiopia, I can't get the word out this morning.
Ethiopia.
And we live in Peckham.
Someone said, I think I saw between cultures.
I love you too, Fulola Special. Between cultures, exactly. Between cultures, across cultures.
Yeah.
Right? So what, you know...
Between backgrounds, okay.
Between backgrounds, yes. So what is the space? Because the space will also determine how I am going to parent. The space also means my experience. In what space was I parented?
Raised up, yeah. Okay.
Right? So...
In what space was I parented? Yes.
Yes, in what space, right? I was talking to one of my good friends, Lee Grady, the other day, and guess what he said? He was talking in the context of relationship, you know, husband and wife and all of that. And he said, the thing is, you know, yes, as much as we take from, the experience of the previous generation, we need to do, even this, the Holy Spirit, God expects us to, to walk in the context of our current life, because because he's with us now. So the space of today, for instance, I was saying, before coming on, I was in fellowship with a group of wonderful people, and we were talking about the current race troubles and
in America.
Yes. And Steve Fatick, who is a pastor, and I follow him, online. I noticed that he said it was his 12-year-old son that drew his attention to the fact that George Floyd, the black man, was murdered on the streets of Minneapolis. What is the space that I'm raising a 12-year-old? When I was 12, the concept of murder on the street did not even exist. I mean, the television that I watched growing up in this country, part of my childhood, TV came on at 7 and it went off at 10. 7 p.m. And we were not up at 10. By 8:30 latest we're in bed. So we only had television for 1 hour. And we watched Jack O'Norrie. I'm feeling a bit lonely. Where are you, baby boomers? We watched Jack O'Norrie. We watched Blue Peter. Right?
Yeah.
Catch a little bit of BBC. And that was it. And it was in black and white. I never went to color TV. So what space am I? So I have to make sure that I enter into the world, into the space of whoever is assigned to me in terms of my charge as a parent.
It's interesting that you talked about the race thing, because yesterday I was having a conversation with the children. And my son was saying, he remembers when he was younger and he wanted to go on the train or go out and he wanted to put on a hoodie. And I would say to him, but don't put on a hoodie. Because, I think I remember then something happened with black boys and hoodies,
Absolutely.
And even getting a car, his dad would say, you don't want to get this kind of car, because if you have that kind of car, they're going to think black boy driving a this or that,
Yes.
And he said it was another incident he reminded me of at school, boarding school. He said one of the boys said to him that, all black people are poor. And apparently he said he roughed him up. But then he now said that he understood this boy came from Scotland, and he said this was his first time of actually interacting with a black boy. So I said, do you mean he's never seen black people before? He said, Mommy, all the black people he saw were only on films or on TV. But this was his first time of actually interacting with a boy, with a black boy.
So if we speak into that, and Tubo's experience is so legitimate, so that talks to me about prejudice and bias, which we all have. So it could be in the context of race. So what space am I raising the children? So is my child multiracial? Is my child across cultures? Is my child black? Is my child white? What, so that is the space. What is the prejudice? So that I also need to inform myself. Similarly, I was raising young black men, in London. And for me, because I knew what the stereotype was of young black men, I thought we are not going to be a statistic and we're not going to feed into the stereotype. Right? So, and that was part of the strategy of raising. So it wasn't just enough to say, did you get your grades? Or, and pardon me if you're non-Yoruba speaking, shotiki auntie. No. In other words, I have to engage with the space in which I am parenting. So, issues around violence, issues around sexuality, issues around church, issues around poverty, issues around injustice. Because one thing about the children that we're raising now is that they're very informed. So they will want to ask you, about, why was a young person murdered on the streets of Minneapolis? That is now dinner conversation.
Yes. And you have to be able to have that conversation with them.
Or why is it that when Grandma Sue passed, we were not able to go to the funeral? Mommy, why are you crying? Why is Daddy upset? So parenting now means, as a parent, some of my vulnerability, will be out there. And I've got to engage in that space.
So I'm seeing people saying mine is multicultural, digital, diverse space. I think this is David saying, I met white kids in uni who had never seen non-white people before. entering into my child's space so different from mine as a parent, multicultural, mixed culture, British and Niger. Yeah. So
the space.
at this stage, I'm a mentor coach for my daughters. We are two sets of third culture kids, so we meet in the middle of bridges. Okay.
I like this one. It says, be cognizant of the happenings and be willing to enlighten our children and hear their view.
Yes.
And hear their view.
Yeah.
You know, and it's from hearing their view we will know their concerns.
Yes.
We can shape the view.
Yeah.
We can bring perspective. We can pray.
Yeah.
So can you see? It's different from when we were, you know, our
definitely
with our parents was very different.
Very different.
The emotional responses my kids, young adults tell me of sometimes, claiming some of my statements are not politically correct.
Yeah.
That is so true.
I know my kids say that too.
Yeah, Mom, you can't say that. And I have to learn, Dad, that is not appropriate. When your child says to you, Dad, that is not appropriate, you can't say that. They're not being rude. It is the space, it is the context in which I am raising children now. Because the education they're getting in school allows them to engage. They're not just sitting there, you know, and absorbing. Education is very interactive. And so when your 5-year-old, you know, says to you, but Mommy, I don't think you should do that. They're not being rude. They're having a conversation. Daddy, you know, but why are you wearing those shoes? You know, you don't look and say, how can you be, you know, it is the space. What is the space? And
someone said, what words do you use to enlighten and speak into the space of your kids?
You use true words, right? So, you know, so in other words, a 5-year-old, right? A 15-year-old, a 25-year-old, obviously the language, you know, so that's part of it. So I'm not just shutting down the 5-year-old. Mommy, I'm afraid. I can't sleep in my room.
Don't say, just go and sleep. You don't do that.
You. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. Me too, I'm tired.
The 15-year-old, Mommy, you know, in the Smith and the Jones house, they are allowed to, well, the space, our space here, these are our values. This is what we do. You know, your negotiation skills, your conversation skills, lots of affirmation. You know, I just, you know, this conversation is so rich because, you know, there are things that we will learn for life. You know, it's a continuous parenting development.
It is.
And by all means, get help. You know, let's not be afraid to engage, you know, with the culture. Because, you know, when your child goes out to school in the morning, that is the space in which they're going into. You know, the teacher may be going through sexual, you know, re-engineering. You know, the child may be going into a school where there are two daddies.
We definitely have to engage our children in conversations. We definitely have to. Sis, let's try and answer some questions.
Okay, go on, please.
Okay. What do you do when you tell your child to do something repeatedly with no response?
Oh, I'm getting lots of. What do you do when you tell your child to do something repeatedly? Again, so it's such a generic question. I actually wish, you know, how old is the child? You know, and what is it that we're asking this child to do repeatedly? I don't know. If I give an example, let me give an example from my own life. Sometimes I may say to, you know, again, I'm talking of adult children now. So maybe even my 18-year-old or my 15-year-old. Please.
I think her kids are.
You know the person?
Yes, they're under 7. They're under 7.
Under 7. This is now an area for boundaries. Is the child distracted? When are you telling this child to do something? You know. So is this their playtime? Where genuinely, you know, so they're watching. I don't know what they watch at age 5 and 7 anymore. Back in the day, it was Teletubbies. Is this their playtime? And so, am I distracted? Because even as a parent, you know, I can be distracted. You know, is there order? You know, if there's time to do chores, do we have an order? Do we have a rota? Do we have a rhythm and a system? So, and then we make it playful. You know, now it is time for us to, you know, I love, you know, my grandson, you know, I love, you know, singing. It's now time for us to take out the trash. You see, it can be a chore, it can be, we're teaching responsibility, but we're also saying that we can actually have fun being responsible. Taking out the trash, tidying our rooms. But if my instructions are a bit random,
you have to be consistent with
thank
kids. You have to be consistent.
We have to be consistent.
Yes.
I mean, and sometimes children can be rude and naughty. So maybe it's an issue of, okay, you know, we need to, you know, we need discipline here. We need to engage. I don't know about you, but you know, I find that, you know, talking, you know, your voice, what is it about your voice that they're not responding?
Somebody just said the approach and tone matters.
There you go. Yes, exactly. What about at age 13? Then we have a conference. We have to sit the 13-year-old
sit them down.
Sit them down. You know, it's not a you know, a shouting match. Sit them down. Jamie, and again, start with affirmation. You know, I see that, you know, you've been doing your homework very well. You know, I really like the way you've polished your shoes or whatever. You know, what is the good that the child has done? However, you know, I really need help, you know, with you keeping an eye on the plants. Or, I'm sorry, I'm not really material, but you get what I mean. You know, both parents, exactly. In fact, your daddy
on the same
and
page.
If they're on the same page, you know, we've spoken about this. It's not shouting and going into a rage. You know, I'm sorry, but you know.
And sometimes when it's okay, these are teenagers, but you know, sometimes when you're talking to younger children, come down to their level. Don't stand over them.
You believe it? I'm going to have to go. There's a delivery at the door, and I think my millennial upstairs probably has on earphones. I heard knocking on the door.
Okay, so So sometimes when you're talking to young children, as in little children, physically come down to their level. Don't tower over them. Just come down to their level and then speak to them. And of course, the tone that you use is so important too. Now, Shadi, okay, you said in the context of not trying to raise your voice, but child continues to test your boundaries. So when they test your boundaries, sis, welcome back.
Thank you, sorry. Breaking transmission.
There's a question that said, in the context of not trying to raise your voice, but child, I think this is answering the question about when the child continues to do the same thing, but the child continues to test their boundaries. Okay, their boundaries, not their boundaries, like their boundaries.
Yes, the boundaries you've set for them.
Okay.
And they continue to test it and stretch it.
Yeah.
Children will be children. That's also that's the reality. And you know, if it's issues of discipline, if it's issues of they're genuinely misbehaving and all of that, then you know what the discipline is, you know, in your home and how you administer, you know, the discipline, right? You have been behaving badly, so there's certain privileges that are going to be removed and whatnot. You know, and there's a place to have a counsel. I find that, you know, when I was parenting, especially the 13, 14, you know, and especially because I was parenting on my own, you know, I had like a reference board, if I can use that word, you know, and you know, where I'm bringing them in, I'm bringing the other villagers to reinforce what I'm trying to do here. It could be an uncle, it could be an auntie, it could be an older cousin. You see, so that's why it's important that even, you know, we're relational. You don't parent alone. Because you're going to need all these other people to also speak into the lives of your children. A grandparent.
Okay. Someone said, and I really appreciate you for saying this, some of this is so alien to own upbringing, so it takes effort. Yes, it does take effort. Yvonne said, I've noticed that when I use those words of affirmation, on my son, that defensive mechanism he sometimes puts up fades away. Yeah. Tineke, always remember your children are people, they're little humans. While you're their parents, don't forget to treat them like you would other humans. So true. So true.
And then David put there Auntie Carol. So that's him.
Okay,
so it was Auntie Carol was the other person.
Oh, okay.
Could also come and parent.
Yes.
And parent David.
Yeah, parenting takes a village. Yeah.
Yes.
And we really do need other people, whether you're a single parent, foster parent, we really do need other people to help us.
Two-parent family, you need other people.
You need other people.
There's one other thing I wanted to talk about in terms of space.
Okay.
This space is not always healthy. Unfortunately, in the space, they may be divorced. And I really wanted to talk about that.
Yes.
My experience as a pastor, as a parent, as an aunt, and all of that. Sometimes relationships break down, and families break down, and then there's a divorce situation. So whether it's divorce, whether it's separation, not even so much death. I want to talk into divorce. And what I've found, right, in my experience of working alongside families who have gone through, a divorce situation, is that I want to now talk to the adults now. The parent, with last week we talked about parents, children are not your trophies.
Yes.
Right? This time around, children are not your throw. They're not your bait. I find that sometimes, in order to score brownie points, right, with a child, you may find that you are dissing the other parents. It is so wrong.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Your spouse, or the partner, the father of that child or the mother of that child may have been a bad partner to you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad parents.
No.
And even if they're bad parents, whatever you do, in order to make yourself feel better, do not undermine, right, who this other person is. There's still a way that you can, we can disagree, we can have a divorce and be separated and still leave everybody's dignity intact.
Absolutely.
So, so in other words, don't be on the phone, with your homie, with your best friend.
And be dissing their dad or mom.
Really, because that 5-year-old is absorbing
everything.
Tension. Yeah, the man is out of the house, the woman is out of the house.
Yeah.
But you're for the past 15 minutes, you've painted a picture on the phone, right?
Yep.
To somebody about what a bad person that person is.
Yep.
And then you wonder why your child is rebellious.
Yeah, not transferring your pain to your child.
Why your child is emotionally a wreck.
Yeah.
Because there's a way that, remember we talked about, I don't know whether I was in this context, sorry, I've been talking all over the place, where, the thermostat, in other words, do your ugliness in your ugly space.
Yeah. Not
but
when
you don't need to bring the children into that space.
No.
Please.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, divorce is the reality of a 21st
It is.
century.
And they're affected by that. You don't need them to also have this thing with mommy and daddy, and then they're trying to choose, who do I love more? Who do I know? And I mean, the worst is when you say to the child, who do you want to go and live with? That is so traumatic. That would be so traumatic for that child, because you're making them having to choose. Do I go with mommy? Do I go with daddy?
Yeah, I think there's something. And then another thing, Sister Funke, is don't download on your children. When I was raising, even as a single parent, it's not until when they grow up, they're like, Mom, you mean you went through all of that? It was my response. I'm the one that has lost. Yeah, they've lost a father, and I've lost a husband. Right. But they're not now my emotional, as it were.
Yeah.
Prop type. And all of that.
Your teddy bear.
So I can't, let the space is that let a child be a child. There'll be enough time in life to deal with issues. So it's not fair for my 7-year-old, my 9-year-old, even my 13-year-old. I had the space to grieve. I wasn't pretending. I wasn't saying I'm not being vulnerable. But I mustn't overload an emotion that cannot cope. Right, with the burden of what I'm going through. When you're 30, you're not supposed to be coping with a 37-year-old grieving mother. Because you're going through your own changes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bumi. I was just actually going to say this. Especially when there's separation, divorce, or even death. I think if we can, let's get counseling for our children.
Yes,
counseling,
I like that. Get a therapist, get a counselor.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Because you never know the effect. These children are affected by these things. And it might not show up immediately.
Yes.
It might not show up now, but later on in life, if it's not sorted out. So yes. Oh my goodness. Let's take another question. Someone said, I experienced this as a teenager. It's so painful hearing your parents abuse the other parent. Yes.
Oh, and guess what, Auntie Funke?
Yes.
It's still redeemable. It's redeemable. So the next space we're going into is a space where we're saying sorry. I want to be able to say sorry to my children.
Yes.
That's
so true.
In other words, there was a term I learned yesterday. I was talking in a different context where it says we have to have a culture of vulnerability.
Yeah.
So there's a space to go back and say, I was angry, I didn't know any better, and I'm sorry.
Yes.
That is so empowering.
Yes.
It will bring healing, it will bring release. It will say to that person, this is not the way to behave. Because you know what? Those children are going to carry this same attitude into different relationships. Yep. It could be colleagues at work.
Yep.
It could be friends. It could be their own, because we're relational.
Yes.
And if I've learned to do relationship by being angry, right? By lashing out at the other person. So there's a place to also go back now and say in this space and say I'm actually sorry.
Yeah.
I now know better.
Well, so people are saying Nigerian parents don't say sorry, or maybe Africans.
They have to learn to say
sorry.
But
we have to. We're a different generation. We learn. We'll learn to say sorry.
We have to learn. We have to unlearn some things, and we have to learn. It's okay to say sorry. It's it's so liberating. And the lashing out can come out in leadership, sis. So you bring it into a work context, and we talked about bullying last week. That whole bullying culture. These are some of the these are some of the byproducts of it, where lashing out at staff, lashing out at and whatnot. What was the space in which I was raised, right? That now makes me as a parent lash out. We have to say, please, thank you, I'm sorry, absolutely.
Yeah.
What if it's thrown back in your face? It's okay. It's all right. You've done your bit.
You've done your bit.
You've done your bit. And give the other person time to heal. We were talking about forgiveness. Some of us, because of our personality and makeup, we're quick to really, if somebody says sorry, no, that's okay. Some of us, it's a process. Oh, it's okay for you to come back and say sorry now. Do man up.
Yeah.
Take it.
Take
the ammunition. Take it. And still go back.
Yeah.
Because your sorry is a process. So even if it's thrown back in the face, you're still on the path.
Yeah. Sis, can we go to some of the words that we use? Some of the words that we use. When you say, "Oh, that child is so yellow," or "Yibo," or you say, I think we talked about.
Before profiling.
Profiling, yes.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Talked about it last week. Okay, that's good. Never say to your child, "You make me so mad." Never say that. You can say, "I don't like what you did," but no, don't use that. "You make me so mad." You're showing the child that you've lost control. You've lost control of the situation. Or even things like, "I hate my job." You come back from work and you keep saying, "I hate my job. I don't even know why I'm doing that."
What message? Hate.
Yes, hate. And then what message are you sending to that child about work? The child will grow up thinking that work is not fun.
Yeah.
We really need to change a lot of the things that we say. The language.
Even that word hate.
Yes.
I really hate it when your daddy does this.
Yes.
The hate is such a powerful word that. Meanwhile, what you meant wasn't, you were just saying, "Oh, I wish he would, close the cupboard door. I hate it when he leaves." No, I really wish he would. I dislike. Yes. That word hate is
it's strong. It's a strong word.
Strong.
Yes.
So we need to, so these are some of the skills. What are the words that I'm using?
Deprogramming, yes.
My job. I've had a bad day at work.
Yes.
It's okay. The programming required. I like that.
Yes.
Our language matters. Yeah. So we have to unlearn some things.
Do you know, sis, even things like, "We have to go to see grandma. I have to go to this." You're saying "have to." That means I'm being forced to go.
I don't
really don't want to go. Well, your daddy has said we're going to see his mother.
We have to go and see. Yes.
We have to go
but then how else would we say it? I would even say, I really don't feel like seeing grandma. I'm being honest.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, I've had a busy week, and all of that. But we will go to see grandma, because I'm teaching that not to be selfish, and that sometimes I'm putting myself out there, even though it's an inconvenience. So the language has, and even it helps me if I feel, "Oh, we have to go and see grandma." Even me, but that I'm going with an attitude. But it's like, I'm really tired. I would love to just stay indoors. But, grandma would be happier with the visit. So there's a way, and these are some of the skills.
Yes.
And these are life skills. I mean, God knows you and I are no experts. I'm still learning. I'm unlearning, and so on. Comparing children is such a big issue, whether based on skin tone, exam result. Please speak. Okay, can we speak into that?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was from Pastor Pearl. Comparing children, yes. Exam results, skin tone, abilities, different talents.
Your children have, their personalities are so different. So you can't compare them.
They're not clones.
They're not clones, yes. One child will be good at maths or whatever. Another child will be good at something else.
Hairdressing.
Hairdressing, yes. So you can't say, oh, because this person, Shade is
creative,
is good at, why can't you be like your brother? Why can't you be like your sister? Oh, no.
We have to, we repent of those words.
We
can't
repent,
use words like
yes.
that. Why can't you be? Because I'm not my brother.
I'm not.
I remember once, this was in a lighter mode. We'd gone out for a meal with one of our family friends, and we're all joking. So we're saying to the two older sons, guys, aren't you going to get married? Because and it was all harmless banter, good conversation, and all of that. And I remember, my friend said, well, the reason, and then we were like, well, we got married when we were 20. We got married in our 20s, and then guess what? They looked at us and said, we are not you. It wasn't rude, It was like, please take this on board.
We are not you.
Not you. We will marry when we're good and ready. Yes, so no comparison.
I don't know if I said this last week, that when I say to, especially that boy called Tubo, when I say, you children of nowadays, he'll go, Mommy, yes, we are children of nowadays. We are different from
okay. Absolutely, yes. Any more comments? There must be an absent father. He behaves badly. Oh, I don't know what Sadele is saying there. That sometimes, I don't know whether that's it. That sometimes when there's an absentee parent, a father, the child may behave badly.
Yeah.
So that's another space to draw into. Indeed, when there's an absentee, a parent, so it could be a father. Then where are the role models? Where are the other villagers that I can tap into? A good uncle, a friend in church, a colleague at work, who can, as it were, speak into, right, the lives of these children. So the whole thing about the space of not having one parent and all of that. I think I remember last week, it's something that we spoke into, where I had all this troop of uncles, so many uncles around me that could speak into the life of my children. They will never take the place of their dad, and that's not the intent. Nobody can. But then, there are other people that bring value, that bring nurture, that bring work, and that can speak into their lives. And that again doesn't necessarily happen. An absentee father can be because of work. For instance, when I think of the great Billy Graham, right? He was an absentee dad.
Because
Ruth Graham would tell you that she raised those children herself because there was this big evangelist, who was never really there. So for all intents and purposes, she was a single mom in terms of her experience. But guess what? She said they lived near, if you read her biography and all of that, she lived near her parents. The choice of where they lived in the Carolinas. So she had the support of her parents in raising the children. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So, so we can be innovative about this, We don't need to parent alone.
And I know we said this last week, but it's so important. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Please, just reach out to someone. Sometimes people don't ask for help because they think, I don't want anyone to know my story. I don't want people to know what's going on. Then you're the one losing out. Reach out to someone. Be vulnerable.
I've seen one very good comment about labeling children as bad because they came from a single parent home.
That's so bad.
Again, profiling, stereotype. These are some of the things that, it's so unfair. It's bad. It's wrong. Bad. Because it has nothing to do with anything. Yes. So we need to be careful. We need to be careful. Some of the stereotypes, that we project. Our 2020 are so set in ways. Sometimes we have to let them make mistakes. Prayerfully, they will learn from their mistakes. but most important thing, we should continue to pray for them daily. Yes. Absolutely. The power of a praying parent. We continue to pray into their lives, allow them to make mistakes, and so on. Oh, this is David now. Tips on parenting a child with mental health challenges, being a parent with mental health challenges. So what would be some of the tips? A parent, if we have, because increasingly we're seeing that children do have mental health. So what will be some of the tips on parenting a child with mental health? So please, let's talk into the space.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what tips would you give if you're parenting a child with mental health?
I think like any health challenge, but this is get help is one.
Yeah, that's the first. Get help. Yes.
Yes, definitely get help.
Don't try to hide it, because there's no stigma with
it's
mental.
It's not a function of your parenting. It's not
absolutely
a function of the
not.
child.
Counseling, yes.
Counseling,
yes.
Please get help.
Yeah, and try to find out more about it. Read about it. I said, someone said understanding and getting help. So find out about it.
Admit there's an issue. It's not anybody's fault. That's right.
Acknowledge it. That's another one. Be patient.
Don't be in denial.
Yes. Don't think it's not from the village. They're not. It's not from the village. It's not from the villagers.
So it's not a demon.
It's not a demon.
They don't need deliverance.
Yes, and it's so important. Understand what mental health is, and the child could still be functioning, as normal, but at the back there's something not quite right. Go to the expert, child and adolescent. Yes, psychiatrist. Yes.
Love the child.
Love the child. Don't label as possessed. Get information. Don't judge them. Accept the child needs help and get it. Educate yourself. Yeah, so many.
Somebody said labeling happens in church. And
it does.
We're so sorry about that. I represent the church, and I'm so sorry.
It does.
And we need to educate ourselves, even in the church.
Yes. It's so
Make a friend with someone going through the same.
Yes.
Good. Accept it. Seek professional help.
Find support communities. Yes, extend grace to yourself.
Mental health is not madness.
It's not. It's not.
Be open with your challenges. Yes.
Seek out other parents. Be open.
We all go through some kind of mental issue at some point in our life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Just sometimes it happens to be really bad, which is true.
I like this. Talk to the other siblings about it. Yes. So that's powerful.
So they don't get angry. Because they might not understand what's going on. Don't sweep it under the carpet. Yes. Look for support.
I did a course in mental health when I realized one of my children was struggling, and I took him for counseling.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Same here. I'm learning more about mental health.
Thank you so much.
Because it's very different from the way we coped.
Yes.
Mental health is one of the things that we're dealing with now like never before.
I like that. Watch how you spread the news about them out of your pain. Seek the right resources.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Still cover the child.
Yeah.
I like this. A depressed child is crying out for help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And David put a love you, mommy.
Love you, mommy.
I love you too.
Aww.
Yes, love you. I love you so much. I love you. Yes.
Yeah.
And be aware of your own mental health too.
Yes, that's important too. That's important too.
Be aware, please. Be self-aware.
That's important.
When you tell the wrong person about an issue, they capitalize on it and use it against you at any given time. Unfortunately, they're horrible people, and that is so true. That is so true. This is another good one. How do you navigate teenage years when they just want to isolate themselves? I wish some of the teenagers on the platform could answer this. I wish they could answer this. What is it that makes you isolate yourself? And you just want to be in your own space. And these days it's so easy, your headphones, your laptop, and all of that,
I think
it's what they do.
I was going to say most teenagers or most people who raise teenagers will tell you that they go through that. It's an experience, it's a phase that would eventually, that they'll come out of. But you don't get so stuck on that. Of course, talk to them, find out if there's anything going on, try and enter their space, as often as possible. When I say that, if they're in their room, you go and find, are you okay? Have you had something to eat? Don't just leave them on their own.
And don't barge into their room.
Don't barge
knock
into
on the
their
door,
room. Yeah.
And even ask if you can come in.
Yes.
Well, I'm paying the mortgage. It's okay. Knock on the door, right? And say, can I come in? And if he or she says no, then don't go in.
I like that. David said, respect them is a phase, but don't minimize the experience. Yes. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Dee. Thank you. Thank you, David.
And don't force them to come out.
And don't force them to come out.
You've been in this room for too long. Yeah, come out. No.
Yeah. And then when they do come out, make sure that they're coming out. What space are they coming out into? Are they coming out into a space where you're nagging, like you said, or you're just instructing, or you're whinging?
Yeah.
When they come out, are you giving them attention?
Yeah.
Because that's your moment.
Someone said
5 minutes.
Some can't relate with their parents. That's another thing. You need to engage your children in conversation, not only when you're telling them to do stuff. Hang out with them.
Yes.
Like even now, go for a walk with them. What's going on. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Get their own opinion about things.
Yes.
So it's not just this is what mommy thinks or this is what daddy thinks.
Yeah. And okay, I like what Lola said, Yahweh. She said it's not personal. So when they want to be in their space, it's not personal. So it's nothing to do with you. You know, it's just, So what somebody put there that she insists, or he, I don't know whether it's a he or she, that they, that she hangs out with their I think it was a she for a couple of hours. While growing up, though, we lived in a 6-bedroom house. Me and my siblings all slept according to our sex. There was a boys' room and a girls' room, so we were never alone or could isolate. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's so these are such powerful powerful thoughts, and
it's so important. Yeah.
Engaging your child. I mean, even when you give rules, like things like, okay, you're washing dishes, or their chores rather, taking out trash. Again, depending on the age of the child, I would say initially even do it together.
Yeah.
We are taking out the trash.
Yeah.
So are you doing the recycling?
Yeah.
Are you doing the food waste?
Yeah.
We are, and then obviously you can eventually, but there's, so it's not just go and do the dishes. We are, we're doing it together, and eventually you can kind of withdraw your support.
Yeah.
It's parenting in the 21st century, guys.
Yes. And never make assumptions about things that you expect your children to do. Sometimes you assume that they know, but they don't. I mean, this has happened to me when I'll say, do this, and I'll be told, oh, but you've never showed me how to do it, or I don't know how to do it. But you make assumptions that, but I've been doing this in the house. Surely you must know how to do it. But never make assumptions about things.
Sis, I like that. In fact, I remember there was a lovely lady who I was talking to some time ago, and she said, she had finished sweeping the floor in her home.
Yes.
And she said to her daughter at the time would have been maybe about 8, and she said to her, please, may I have the packer? And the daughter just blanked. And she said, may I have the packer? And daughter blanked. May I have the packer? And the daughter blanked. Guess what she wanted?
What?
The dustpan and brush.
Oh.
She called it the packer. When you're raising children across cultures, the language you're using. Oh, Mom, you mean you want the dustpan and brush? I said I want the packer. What do you mean dustpan and brush?
So was
she said making assumptions.
Yes.
I want tea. Can you make me a cup of tea? And then she makes you a cup of tea. Whereas what you meant was I wanted hot chocolates. So even language, because when we were growing up, the beverage tea was anything that was hot in a mug. So I just thought to just put some, we're learning.
We're learning. We're all learning, and that's the truth. We're all learning. Even now, with the kids all grown up, we're still learning.
We're learning. The packer.
The packer.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Our time is going.
Okay. We have 5 minutes more to go, and
thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you for hanging out. It's been amazing. We're going to take a break for 3 weeks. We're going on a retreat. Well, the church that attend Jesus House, we're having a program called Pursuit of God. And it's from the 1st of June to the 21st of June. So we're taking a break. But you can join us. You can join us. It's if you go to the Jesus House handle, it'll have all the details about the Pursuit of God. It's a conference, actually. It's where we're basically seeking God. And this year's theme is intimacy with God. And I think that's so important. We want to go away to find out more about what God wants us to do, and praying that we'll come back with loads of stuff for you. So please join on Pursuit of God if you're able to. And also follow us, our handle, Hangout Cafe. We have a handle now. If you're not already following us, it's Hangout_the cafe. Hangout_the cafe. And and during this period whilst we're away, please take some time to do some soul care, so that we're going to do that so we can best serve you when we come back, but also for yourself, do some soul care, get intimate with God, seek his face. What does he want you to do? We're getting to the next half of the year. Yeah, actually, from July, yes, it'll be. Find out what he wants you to do. What are his plans for you for this next season of your life? So get intimate with God, get closer with the Holy Spirit. And if whilst we're away,
need help,
yes, we need help. Send us a DM, send us a direct message. And whilst we're away, if you're craving some coffee and you want to
virtual hugs
again, send us a message. But seriously, all the episodes are on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel, Olu Adiaga. So go on YouTube, just type in Olu Adiaga, it will come up with my channel. And also some of it are recorded on my IGTV. The last, I think, 2 or 3 episodes are on my IGTV. And whilst we're away, again, if there are topics you want us to cover, parenting, research, anything, just please send us a message. Parenting, we could have 10 episodes of help I'm a parent, because there's so many issues with parenting, and there's some questions we didn't even we're not able to answer. But please, I think there's another program tonight by Mrs. Yeager. I know they're talking about parenting. It's at 8:00. If anybody's able to put that up, I think it's her handle is Miss Yeager. I know the 2 people that are coming to talk about parenting are people that they're very good. I don't know whether I say good parents because I'm not at home with them, but they're people who have experience, good experience of parenting. Morenike and Body, not Body, Morenike and Bumi Olu.
We have a minute left.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. We love you. Thank you for being with us right from the first episode. And Sis Abby, I love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you too.
You're amazing. God bless you. Thank you all. Thank you for being with us.
We'll be praying for you.
Yes, we will. We will. If you got any prayer requests, just send us a message. We will pray for you. And Sister Abby and I, we meet every week and we do pray.